Hey, what's going on, aarava here, and welcome back to some brand new F1 2018 gameplay. Today we've got Nico Hulkenberg driving his Renault around Hockenheim. Of course, we're coming to the German Grand Prix once again in 2018 after having an absence in 2017. I've always maintained I'm really hyped to see Hockenheim back in the F1 game, and so we've got a really cool preview with a hot lap of Nico Hulkenberg. So let's roll the tape and then let's talk about it afterwards.
Hi, I'm Nico Hulkenberg and I'm going to take you on a lap in Hockenheim in F1 2018. So German Grand Prix, Hockenheim, down the start and finish straight, into turn 1. It's just kind of an apex, really fast corner. Keep all the speed through that. Another like medium length straight, down to turn 2. Heavy braking point and a really kind of tight corner. Important to get a good exit, right, left-hander, early on the throttle. Because now we're on the parabolic cut straight, which is pretty long, curved, but all flat and just straight, so straight line speed, important and necessary. Then another heavy braking for the hairpin corner. Very low speed, early on throttle again. Heading to the Mercedes grandstand and corner. Quite a nice flowing section this year, everything medium speed, a nice left-hander again. Rear always tends to go light here, flat through this right-hander, let the car go wide onto the curb. Now coming to the final sector in the stadium bit, always a good atmosphere in here, hopefully when it's packed, full with German and probably Dutch fans. Sachs corner, very banged, important to clip the apex. And then the last section here is pretty narrow, it's the old track. Double right-hander as the last corner to finish the lap off. Carry all the speed through you can. And that was the lap in Hockenheim, ladies and gents.
So really cool to see Hockenheim back in the flesh, and it looks better than ever actually. If we compare screenshots, because obviously the last time we had it in an F1 game was F1 2016, so that's quite some time ago, and I spoke recently in other videos on F1 2018, I'll put a link in the annotation, about how Cody's always seem to step up the visual fidelity. They got a new art director specifically this year that's really done a lot of work on the finer details to make the tracks look a lot more fleshed out and better. But if we compare screenshots roughly at the same point of the track between Hulkenberg, and this is a screenshot from my career mode back in the day on F1 2016, you can just see the huge step up, not only in the detail of the circuit, but also the actual weather and the ambience of it, which we've kind of maybe joked about in terms of Cody's put a lot of emphasis on how much work they've done this year on like the cloud system and the weather and the lighting, but it all adds up and actually does make a difference in the end to how you perceive the track, how everything looks on the surface, on the car itself as well, the reflections. And I was playing F1 2016 back 2 years ago on Ultra when I recorded this career mode, so it's not like I've turned down the settings on purpose or anything like that. It's on Ultra settings, and you can clearly see the difference is quite staggering actually. Like obviously the screenshot from F1 2016 has lost a little bit of its detailing due to the video processing on YouTube, but it's still a stark contrast in terms of just look at the sky itself. Like there's actually no clouds about, no detailing there, and then on the 2018 shot you've got all this kind of interesting stuff going on in the sky. So that's the hope that obviously going to 2018, when you're doing maybe your changeable wet races, that you're going to see a bit more difference, and you can actually see with your own eyes that okay, it looks like it might start to rain soon, even before your engineer maybe tells you. And then just generally just look around, basically the actual landscape itself looks a lot better, and also the cars. I will also note that obviously before anyone puts it in the comments below about the halo, I'm pretty sure I can say that all these preview videos I think were recorded at the same weekend around Baku, like a couple of months ago, I think, because it seems very familiar, the room that the drivers keep driving in on their rig setup. So that's why all these halos look very simple and nothing like they do in real life. If you look at gameplay that was maybe recorded later on in the game cycle, I think the E3 gameplay is a little bit better. The halos are actually, adapted to what they look like in real life. So that's not a worry. Just take that with a pinch of salt that these preview videos seem to be recorded all at the same time quite a few months ago when things had to be signed off earlier. And also, just a little note, if anyone from Cody's is maybe watching this video, just a little advice, maybe start putting these videos out in 60 FPS, because if you would have definitely noticed that during that hot lap, the FPS was 30, and it made the lap look so slow and very odd. Just a little bit of advice, a bit of kind of fourth wall breakage, just a message to Cody's that get your video guy to render it in 60 FPS. I highly recommend it, because in 30 FPS, it kind of does a disservice to how the game looks versus 60 FPS. I don't know why it would be in 30. I don't know if like publishers of like traditional media prefer it in 30 or something like that. I don't really know the reasoning, but 60 FPS would be the most ideal way to showcase the game off. Just a little bit of advice there, but also for you guys, take that with a pinch of salt in terms of if the gameplay looked a bit weird before you comment below, like saying, oh, it looks like kind of like weird and crap. It's because they render it in 30 FPS, unfortunately. Maybe just all to get the graphic fidelity there, but I don't know. But looking through other screenshots then of the corner, I'm definitely going to be locking up at and going wide so often, very off camber, right at the end of sector 1. But again, you can just see the difference also on the left-hand side in terms of the detailing of the kind of, you've got the foliage and the forest there, and then also in the distance on the right. And then going to the stadium section, you can see on the left the gravels in a lot more detail, and then again, that weather system, the clouds, the actual stadium, just the general ambiance ahead of you, away from the car, looks a lot better. And also the car itself, like the lighting, look at that difference between 2016 and 2018. The lighting is being stepped up so much. Obviously, almost in a way, the halo kind of helps show how the light's bouncing off the car, because there was no halo in 2016 to show you the light bouncing off anything apart from just going on top of the chassis of the car. But there clearly is a big difference, and it's really cool that you can compare 2 years in a row, because you never really get that with most of the time with F1 games. It's usually a year-to-year comparison, and that's a lot harder to see a big difference. But from 2016 to 2018, there's a big old difference. So finally, just looking through some screenshots then of Hockenheim on the actual wide shot here, and of course we'll probably get some more, but these will be kind of part of the cinematic intros that you get at the start of the race. But again, comparing that to 2016, just you can see, if you go back to cinematics from there, I don't actually have a screenshot from 2016, but if you just compare it back, you can just see the actual difference that they've got from Hockenheim then to now. But that's going to be the end then of the actual hot lap stuff. There has been also, to kind of address some people tweeting me lately, there has been some gameplay floating around from some preview events from like a French PR event, and I believe like also they did, I think, a Spanish one, I think, this week. So there's been some gameplay floating around then, so if you are interested, you can search that up. A lot of people have been asking me if I'll be covering that gameplay. I'm not going to be, because there is a UK event next week, so hopefully, guys, next week, keep your eyes peeled. Around the end of next week, I should have my own brand new F1 2018 gameplay from a much newer build. They're doing a UK PR event, so that'll be really cool. Hopefully I can show you like a multiple onboards from different cars, and also a lot more of the career mode where I can kind of control what I'm kind of looking at on screen, rather than it being kind of B-roll or footage that's like from another kind of PR event or per se. But there is definitely some gameplay knocking about, McLaren and whatnot, and other cars where you can see the halos are a bit more detailed. You can see a bit more of the career mode stuff, and for the first time, Cody's have now talked a bit more about, in the next dev diary, it looks like they're going to be finally talking a bit more about the R&D and the big reset thing that will be happening, the game changer that I've talked about, where from season to season the R&D is going to be resetting. So they've kind of mentioned it briefly, but they've never really fully kind of like talked about it. And so I think hopefully in the next week or so, I'm going to predict and guess there's going to be the developer diary dropping, the second one out of 4. Remember, we had the first one about interviews and it was all about contracts. So this next one, I assume, is going to be about the R&D tree and how the rules are going to, quote unquote, the rules are going to change from season to season. Of course, I've talked about that, about the engine or the aerodynamics R&D part of the tree is going to reset randomly. It doesn't have to reset, but it could reset from season to season, giving you that difference year on year of the career mode. I've talked about that plenty in already a video, like in literally a month ago, so I'll pop an annotation link below. I only mention it because I recently had like a few people tweet me this week saying that, did I know about this news, because it was the first time Codemasters officially started talking about it. But guys, I already made a video about it like a month ago, so if you're tweeting me about it, you guys need to keep up with my news videos. I have a whole playlist on F1 2018 news, so I made it about a month ago when I went to E3. We found out about that quite a long time ago, so yeah, keep up to date with that. But that's going to be it then. So I was really excited to see Hockenheim back in the flesh. Like I said, really excited to play it again. It was one of my favorite circuits 2016. Do let me know in the comments below, guys, if it was a favorite of yours, because it certainly was of mine. The AI were very racy in F1 2016 at Hockenheim, so 2 years later, the AI have improved vastly, so I can't wait to see how the AI kind of react in career mode around Hockenheim. That's going to be a really cool round to go to. So yeah, that's going to be the video then. Short one, but obviously it's not a lot to go off, but a hot lap around Hockenheim, you know, technically a new circuit back in the F1 game, so I thought I had to make a video on it. So guys, if you did enjoy it, hit that like button, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.